Good morning! Holy cow, what a beautiful day!
So what's our official plank count right now?
Well, we got 10 5x5 in, full length planks.
5 and 5 in.
And we got the 6th one on the port side is molded. And today we're going to try to get the 6th one on the starboard side molded.
So which one is this? This is number 6?
We removed this off the port side,
6
number 6.
port.
Stop it.
Officially this is board number 11?
Absolutely.
This is officially number 11.
11, number 11.
Shape of this bad boy.
This is number 11, this is number 12 right here.
Yeah.
Gateway to entry.
Okay.
Okay, the plank's cut, and we've milled it almost to its finished dimension. Of course, there'll be shaping on the inside where the hull curves out. So now the next thing is I'm going to clean up the bottom edge and get a little out gauge in it. And then when we're happy with the way that looks, we'll run it through the planer one more time. Anyway, this is the old Stanley number 5, typical bench plane or jack plane. And it's the one you use the most. It's the best size all around. So we get it pretty nice, and then varnish and fit. Well, I like to do that as I go, carving along, because I can stand here and look at the two sides as we're developing the shape, as opposed to just planking the boat and then coming in here and grinding it off. So you have to stick with the old-timey hand tools for now, and they do go pretty fast. And back aft, we'll show you there's 2 planes. This is the one we've already seen, which we do the hollowing with in these areas here. To get this shape, we take this plane and it removes material fairly quickly, and you can feel what you're doing as we go along and keep shaping these planks so that we don't lose our feel for this hull. You can start feeling the shape come back into the boat quite quickly, whereas you couldn't really do this with a power tool without either taking too much, wrecking the shape. Stern post here, we wouldn't want to come in here with a power tool because you could gouge into the stern post. Where if this is held tightly to the stern post, you come in about an angle like this. See how you're carving it? And now you see how quickly I've flushed that up? We're almost done without any damage to that area. And then same here, this plank's a little chubby. We come across at about a 30 to 45 degree angle. You can feel how this plank is high in the middle. You just keep going along until it gets close, and then you don't plane dead fore and aft once it gets close. You go down at a slight angle. That way, this roundness or hollow is starting to go across all the planks. So we're almost done for now. It's also a really good workout. You don't need a gym. Yeah. Okay. That's it. That's all we need.
Wax screw.
Cheese wax.
Now one other thing, see this frame here? This is a good example. This frame is notched into the keel, but not very well. So we're going to put a screw here. It's really long, so it catches the bottom of that frame once again and goes well into the forefoot. I know, this frame has this bronze strap, but it's just good practice. Do that wherever you can. Well, when you're trying to bend a piece of wood, we were talking earlier about grain structure, why you use quarter sawn lumber wherever you can for planks. Now, this yellow cedar bends very nicely. It's very elastic. The reason this one broke is because of the grain runoff. Okay, so when you go to look for a piece of wood that you're going to bend, always look for the grain structure. Now, we don't care about this because it's a shim. It's going to be glued in, so we don't care if it breaks. And it would be nice if we had feathered it before we put it in.
Yeah.
Okay? That hurt. Because it would, I love that sound. But that broke only because of the grain structure, not the species of the wood or the thickness or anything.
So we would have feather edged it. And then,
feathered, and then we'll find a piece that's got some flat grain. Flat meaning this way.
Yeah.
See, the problem with this piece of wood, it's vertical grain this way. And you can see the grain run off here. See it?
Yeah, yeah.
That's going to break. So, lesson learned. So for this application, we don't want vertical grain. We want flat grain. Same with the frame. You want your frames to be bent on the flat like this. See the flat grain? Yeah. See the flat grain here? So, but it's different on the plank.
Oh yeah, it's like Jay Leno.
What we got going on here?
Some jackass put TURD flow. Very informative.
What happened?
Well, because this is the exhaust. We're trying to keep this clinical. And if the
that's the boat's asshole.
waste comes out of here, the intake is here. As the water flows over the vessel.
Well, maybe the boat, it's supposed to work when the boat's going backwards.
Okay, you can only use the thunderbox when in reverse. But this should be forward and down. And that's about the end of that story. Then the holding tank, which I'm assuming we're going to probably put down in here now, will have room without the sump.
Yeah.
I know.
Then we'll just have a straight pump out and go up with the deck. We got one more pass, and we'll go this way.
Stick this in first, right?
Yeah, we can go that way. We can go that way. And we'll go on a slow speed. Because we're going to split it now. See, which side of the boat is this going? Oh, yeah. Now, when you split it, we want to split it about 2/3, like about here.
Why is that, Bud?
Would you go sing us another Portuguese song, please?
Yeah, when it's
I'm glad you asked. Otherwise, nobody would know.
breather.
This way, when you split it like this and you glue it up, there's some shaping that be done on the outside. So we're going to lose some material out here eventually. But also you want a pretty good thickness out here for your plugs so they can be countersunk to a decent depth. So basically what you're doing is that. And those are some great questions.
How far back are you going to split it?
It's an arbitrary thing. It's about 5 feet on the front end. And as we go up into the 4 foot, this will become less and less to where, like the next plank, for instance, probably 2-3 feet until, up in here somewhere, we probably won't have to split them at all because there's hardly any twist. Right now we still have that twist at the end. So that's what that's about. Back here, we have, we not only have the curve and the twist, we have a lot of twists suddenly right back here about frame number 34, 35, 36. It goes, there's a sudden transition there. So we have to, why is that, Captain Ron? I learned that in rehab. Anyway, so it has to be split for a distance of about 8 feet here. And that way when we put it up, we just bang it in there and it's not under any stress. Make sure it fits decently, and then we can mold it much like this one.
Now, I mean, when you're splitting them, is there any reason not to just put on thinner planks?
No.
Multiple thinner planks that are glued together, just like you have done with the sister frames?
You could, but if you think about, let's say for instance you're going to put double planks.
Yeah.
You'd have to cut 2 of them, plane 2 of them, fit 2 of them.
Right.
You know, so you double your cutting and planing and monkeying around labor, whereas by using a single plank like this and just splitting the ends, you're still just cutting one time.
Okay. Yeah.
I actually wanted to know, to be honest with you. Boat building.
Oh, this poor little bandsaw. This one's kind of a pretty skinny little curve. It takes it down a little bit. Here we go. Now back to the workbench for just a few minutes. Clint, have we squared off the plank lines? I have. Where are they? I mean, we have a, yeah, okay. This represents where the top edge of that plank is going to ultimately be.
Okay.
And the reason you do that is because if you just left this line, when you're doing what we're doing right now, it's called basically stacking the planks. So because of their very radical shape and so forth, we're going to just concentrate on the bottom edge. We don't care about the top. That's why we cut it too wide. And so once we get real happy with the end fits, because it's an inside fit, full-length plank, the bottom edge and the fit up forward around all this curving and twisting, then we can come in and mark on the inside of the plank these locations, so that when it comes off, goes back to the workbench, we can plane down to those lines, run a batten on it, and not worry about it. Besides molding them, you always have to clean up the edges anyway the next day because they're not perfect. That's why you just make them a little too big. When you're building a boat or replanking one like this, these planks right in here should be what's called the shutter plank. They have hardly any twist in them. They're flat, so there's no carving. And you don't have to split them. And you can lay out the plank on the back side to get a nice fit. You wouldn't want this plank, for instance, as a shutter. It would be a nightmare. Yeah. Okay, back here, our next step now that we've split it is to put a little bit of this shape in, because this plank, again, has to go 3-4 times or more before it's pre-drilled and really fit well. So the next move for me, while these guys are getting clamping blocks ready, is to, from about here, a couple of feet, to about 10 feet forward, we're going to put this shape, see it here? In the back side of the plank. And then it begins to flatten out. Down here on the stand.
Turn on the side, so it flattens out down here.
So this plank only requires about 6-8 feet of shaping. You can feel the shape of the boat on the inside.
From the inside of the plank.
How round,
Yeah.
especially up in here. First fit, plank number 6, starboard side.
First fit. Okay, let's see it.
And you know which end goes forward? He spiraled and cut it.
Spiraled it.
Yeah, that's laying it out from the 3rd dimension back to the 2nd dimension, then sawing it. And
He did this one all on his own? Great. The team, or just Clint on his own?
Went on his own.
Okay. In the 2 dimension.
You got it, John? Yeah. Okay, drop your end. Drop your end way down. And roll the top up a little slightly.
Okay, come forward a little bit. Oh, baby.
Right there?
A little more. Right there. Okay, John? Don't move. It's so swell. You must have screwed it up, Clint.
Again.
We'll just put a little fella here for right now.
That's a pretty. Are you happy with what you see so far?
Oh, yeah, I'm real happy. Looks sweet. I want to pull the bottom in first to start developing this twist. And then right in here, some places are tough to clamp because there's tanks and hoses and bolts and stuff in the way. Other places, not so bad. See that twist we're putting in? Okay. I can't get a good grip here. Hang on a second. All right, that's better.
That twist looks pretty tough right there.
Pretty scary, yeah.
Kind of keep it away from the end here.
Probably 90 degrees bend.
Yeah, so now we pull the bottom in almost as far as we need to. So the next move will be start to use that top twist.
Seems like this is an
Okay.
art in itself, just the art of clamping.
Yeah.
Yeah, up and in. Okay, this would be. Yeah, what you're doing is you're trying to induce forces that will cause the plank to behave. Now, you've got the bottom end for this distance. Now we need to start getting the other twist going this way. So now we'll start clamping near the top of the plank, towards the top edge. You hear there's a lot of force on that. I love that sound. And you angle the clamp down slightly. Okay, can you yank down that plank?
Or tighten the rabbit.
Tighten the rabbit, okay.
Need a little more.
Because what we'll do is when we get this close, we'll check the front again.
Okay.
If it's good, then we can move it forward. Well, it's too long.
We know that.
We can mark it and plane it in place.
Like you did in
Yeah. Yeah, okay. John, grab the basher there. But you'll have to be retired soon. This is the basher. It did 10 planks. See, it says on there.
Basher.
Hit here. Okay, that's, you know.
For people who can't read.
For so it starts to drop down, and you have to keep transferring your clamps, of course. And because what happens when you put that bend and twist in it, the natural tendency of the timber is to want to go up. And
I see the gap there.
constant battle. Exactly. I have to get this one down lower. So you can see all this monkey business here that we're doing. Up in here, you don't even, it doesn't exist. And you always make these out of a much softer material than the planking. This is yellow cedar, and it's very soft wood, but it's amazingly strong. It's done almost all these planks. So
Doesn't damage the plank.
yeah. Okay, now we're tight back there, right, Clint?
Yeah, you're tightening the rabbit.
Okay, so we don't want to bother that. We'll just go up front now. Ignore the back.
Trim that out a little bit, huh?
Yeah, but as he sucks this down here, it'll shorten the plank. But
Okay, yeah.
Go. It's moving.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, hold it right there for a second. We don't want it to bounce. If you can go forward a little more. Okay, Clint. Yeah, go. Again. Go. Harder. A little more. Okay. Now, you're gonna have to cut, a quarter inch or more off the end of this. We knew that going in.
So we're gonna trim off the end here.
Trim the end.
Great.
And then
Put some glue.
then Clint's mixing the glue. And John's gonna put the wax paper up on the hole so we don't glue the plank to the hole.
epoxy, West Systems. I'm on 1 pump, so I need 3 more. 2. And it's the correct ratio is 1-for-1, so you don't want to mess that up. So there's our magic formula, West Systems epoxy. And then we have this here, microfibers, adhesive filler. No, there's no real fumes that come off of this unless it's mixed and sitting and it's gassing, which you can't really smell them, but they're there and it's really not a confined area. Right now we're okay. The powders, obviously you don't want to breathe any of the powders that are coming up from grinding or this filler if the wind blows around. But as far as that, no, it's pretty non-toxic. Some people get sensitized to epoxy from prolonged use without gloves. And then they break out in hives and whatnot. It's pretty bad, so I always take precautions. I wash pretty good before I hold my babies. And also when I'm mixing up here, mix small batches, because if I mixed enough for both pieces here, it'd start kicking off in the pot. So if epoxy's spread out in smaller areas, it tends to not kick as fast. But if I left that amount in here, those 4 pumps that I put in here, and just set it down for 10 minutes, this little area would get I call it a heartbeat. It gets real hot and starts smoking, and then just spreads, and it could catch on fire.
No way, just epoxy just sitting there, catch on fire?
After it's mixed with the catalyst. I've seen it happen in the boatyard. Guys walk away or mix too much. That's a good thing. You can always go walk back and just mix a little more. That way you're not wasting material or catching something on fire.
Doug wanted everybody to see the mast step is in. Look how beautifully it fits. It's all in there, tarred in. And some new bolts. Well, the light's not working so well, but now you can see it a little bit. Come on, light. Open up.
Man,
Back up.
you are the mango.
Gotta go up, John. Okay, now forward just a wee bit. Come on up, that's good enough. Just hold it for a second. You got it? Just wait.
Yes, sir.
Okay, here we go. Where did I have this bloody thing? We'll just put it here.
Right here. There's a mark.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're holding it in on an edge. There we go. Now we're past the split, so now it's solid plank for a while.
Stop people against terrorism. Terrorism. American people sure appreciate that kind of stuff.
American people work hard.
You didn't build that. You didn't build that. I built it.
All right, now we're starting to put in the other twist.
The big twist.
Yeah, this is where it starts, right here.
Peppermint twist.
That's where it starts, right there.
Someone said his friend named Dick. You should ask him.
What's that?
You got a pencil, Dick? Poor little fella.
Okay, you want to push the top in for me there? Watch the sacred edge. And go up. Just take the plank straight up. There you go. Now pull the paper out.
Down there in Crawford County. Damn, shit. Wow. That's some torque on that.
Yeah, imagine if it wasn't split.
I don't know.
It's one of those things, this looks like this is never going to work, doesn't it? This isn't going to work. What are you doing? This ain't going to work. Well, it might not.
What are you, fucking goofy?
Are you shitting me? Okay, now, we need a clamp here to pull the bottom in.
Okay.
And I think we're getting real close. Up here, anyway. We're almost done. Another 10 minutes.
Which frame?
Right here. Put a big clamp that catches it down low. Okay. All right, so we're cooking now. Nice sound. Okay. Maybe we can get one in here.
All mixed up.
Yeah, do a mixtape.
Now take this one out, drop it down. We did another large.
Straps on there.
So it's not okay. Then leave it.
Oh, that baby's tight.
Give it a whack right here. Pretty good.
Looking pretty tight.
Yeah, yeah. Right here, done. You give us one right here. Okay.
In the back.
Yeah, I like it.
That's what you're doing, wiping all the glue.
All the epoxy, so it just kind of makes it easier. And you go back and take it down and shape it a little more. It's less work. The stuff really hardens and it's hard to take down. Good night, everyone.